For the last ride down. We drove off bridge. You'll know that we will stop periodically to do things. And maybe fill your brain for 3 years.
Hello.
Hello! And welcome to Condor X's Petrifying Picture Show!
Petrifying Picture Show.
The show.
All of you Steamboat Willies out there.
I just love the fact that we can use that now.
All you Willies. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty excited about that. But how is everyone doing? How's everyone in your neck of the woods?
I'm doing fantastic. This was my week off, so I've done all the mundane things that people can, like other people who are not me, can accomplish in a like normal week. Like I folded my laundry. Okay, I did house cleaning. Read several books. Spent some time with my dog. You know, the things people don't have to go on vacation for who aren't me.
Yeah, well, but those things are good. Those are things that can become a routine. But
no, they won't. No.
Yeah, but then not always, and and there's still nothing wrong with enjoying the simple things. I think things are usually way too complicated.
No. The problem is they fill me with a intense sense of anxiety. So I have like the clean pile and the dirty pile, and eventually they swap. The problem is the pile system has been in place since the last time I took vacation, which was October of last year. So every time I go into the bedroom, I see a giant pile, and I should really do something about that. And I just close the bedroom door and go back out. But eventually I go to bed, and I go past it again. I'm thinking, wow, I suck as a person. I have this huge pile of clothes that I should really do something about. And then I shut off the lights, and then I go to sleep.
I'm guilty of that sometimes too, really. I mean, the drudgery of daily life can make other things, seem really just not worth it. It's like, I don't want, like, my energy is finite as it is. I don't want to waste it doing something that I hate.
Yeah, so I waited until I was, on vacation. Again, that thing people, normally go places and do things with to accomplish all this. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a staycation. Isn't that, don't people call that a staycation?
I'm frequently fond of staycations. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can be good too.
Yeah.
Just not having to, being able to not have to deal with all the normal stresses.
Yeah. Well, I'll have another week of vacation coming up next month, and then maybe I'll do stuff. It's unlikely.
If you feel like it.
It's unlikely. By then, I'll probably have some more clothes piled up on the floor I have to take care of, and that may take me a week.
Is that the same time as that cryptid block party?
No, that's in October. That should be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
That looks so
Cryptid
cool.
block party was awesome last year. Yeah, convincing people to put on masks and wander around, that was fun. I really liked that. I offered to volunteer. I walked up with the volunteer coordinator and said, "Hey, what can I do?" And she said, "Table full of masks. Just get people to wear them." Like, I'm on this shit.
Do that.
I got this. Oh yeah.
I love masks.
I love convincing people to do things.
It just seems so fun. Who is your favorite cryptid, do you think? I think we've asked, maybe we've talked about this before.
I still like Mothman. I mean, he doesn't have quite the large lore that, Nessie or the Chupacabra or, any of those guys do, because he's more of a local, I guess, Appalachian sort of cryptid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Mothman's cool. Everyone lusts after Mothman, though. They always talk about his butt.
That's because if you go to the museum, it's one of those things where they've got the statue, And you can
Yeah.
tell where the perverts have interacted with him because his ass does shine.
I just love that sentence. You can tell where the perverts have interacted with it. That's
I have to
just,
say, it's not like they were shaking his hand, dude. There's distinct ass glow
yeah,
where
yeah,
people have wiped off. Yeah.
yeah. People can't help it. You know,
You know,
just
give the people what they want, and
yeah.
that
You
is what they
gotta give the
want.
people what they want. Yeah,
Yeah.
this just. I mean, I can see the. See, I was going to say that I'm more. I guess I'm going to be like the vanilla normie and say that like Bigfoot is just always my favorite. I don't know. I
You
just
can't go wrong with Bigfoot. There's so many different varieties of Bigfoot.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
Bigfoot started out as something I think to most people in like pop culture as something that's like just kind of an ape man, and that's
Right.
it. But I think yeah, the idea of Bigfoot over the years has really evolved, and you know, there are some people that think it's some sort of alien creature. There's some people
That is
that
one
think
there.
it's a gigantopithecus. There are people who
Yep.
think that it's some sort of extra dimensional creature that is psychic and can like travel between like realities and things. So I
Yep.
mean,
And then you have like the swamp version. Then you have like the dog versions. Then you have like
yeah,
the cat versions. There's one in Kentucky that's covered in blood and bald,
oh my god,
which I'm pretty sure is just like
oh
some
my
dude
God.
like named like Phil, and he just walks around the woods sometimes really trashed,
Oh
you
my
know,
god,
smacking
is
into
the
trees, and he has a hair thing. You know,
that
I
was the
don't know.
most horrific
It's
image
legit.
that has been conjured into my mind
You're
now.
welcome.
God,
It is the
that just sounds
Spotsville.
grotesque.
I'm pretty sure it is the Spotsville monster, but yeah, it's basically bald Bigfoot covered in blood.
Covered in blood. Oh
Right.
my god. Well, if anyone who's ever seen like videos or like pictures of like a bald chimp like with like alopecia or something where
Yeah.
it's like hair all fell out.
Yeah.
If you can imagine that, but like 8 feet, 9 feet tall and covered in
Yeah.
blood,
Right.
just horrific. A real just terrifying thing to see.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Kentucky's got some
god.
weird ones. Yeah.
Oh, and then you can't forget there's also in some I forget where, maybe Ohio, sheep squatch.
There is a sheep squatch.
Yeah, there's a sheep squatch.
There's definitely the frog monster, Loveland.
Yes, I actually really
Loveland
love him
complex.
too. I love him a lot too because he is just a frog man. Like that. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like I know this make me sound like a normie, but like really, I think there's something about like the simplicity of some of these that I just really appreciate. You know,
You got to see the Frogman movie though, dude. They
I
make it
want
very
to.
they make it very Lovecraftian. It's really well done. It's like Shadows of Innsmouth, but with frogs instead of fish people. It's really good.
Well, also there's a movie coming out sometime this year. I think it's called Frog God, or no, the God of Frogs, or something like that. And it's supposed to be kind of like Cthulhu-esque type thing as well. Like
I know they were working on a sequel. I wonder if that's what it is.
might be.
Okay, cool.
You have to look up just like look it up on YouTube later, like a trailer
Yeah.
for it. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it's mostly like a practical effects type thing. It looks kind of low budget, but it looks really
Oh, this was
cool.
like kind of lost film kind of thing. So,
Yeah. Yes. But it's like
maybe.
also an anthology. Yeah, kind of like VHS, I think. Sort of like that. Because they're all somehow related to this entity, this amphibious entity, Elder God. But yeah, I think that they're all kind of like VHS, like they're all just different stories, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think there is something weird about frogs because they're so. I love frogs. Frogs are like some of my favorite animals, especially toads. I love toads, but I think there's something very ancient about them, you know.
Yeah.
And like, there's something very like. I mean, you can see why they're associated with witches, I think, sometimes, you know, because there's something weird about them. They're strange. They have hands, you know, they're like, they have like, and they can jump, and they're basically just a head that can throw itself.
Okay,
at
that is true.
things.
Yes.
You know,
You kind of lost me with that. They have hands thing. I was like,
well,
lots of
not
things.
other.
Lots of things have hands, dude. Hands are not that uncommon.
Well, like I remember seeing in some book, it was some school book or something, and there was like, they're like where it showed. It might have been my biology class or something, or zoology class in high school. But there was like a picture of a frog, and it had like, an arrow pointing at its eye, and it's like eyeball, or it's like nostril, and there was like there was an arrow pointing to its back leg, and it said foot, and there was one pointed at its like front leg, and it said hand. And I remember never thinking of it that way until I saw that, and I was like, "Do frogs have hands? Do frogs have hands? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. If you look at their skeleton, it looks like hands. It looks like skeletal fingers.
Yeah.
But you could also say those are toes, because it is a four-legged animal. But I don't know. It's like Sam and my mother-in-law. They always talk about Sammy having hands, and I'm like, Sammy doesn't have hands. He has paws.
Four-legged animals, the legs are usually similar. There's definitely a distinct difference between the forelegs and the back legs.
Yeah.
But I guess also they're not bipedal, so yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but then also if you think about it, well, like a chicken doesn't have hands; it has wings, and it's
I'm
like.
pretty sure I've had chicken fingers, dude.
Well, that's good point. I imagine chicken fingers. The thought of that, like even though they're delicious, like a chicken with fingers just sounds disgusting and strange.
It's like a scary movie. The one dude who had the like mashed potato fingers.
Yeah,
that's a chicken finger.
just gnarled.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
If a chicken had fingers, it would look like that. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I could see some sort of Eldritch Abomination type movie about chickens. Like
I'm pretty sure Troma has done that.
Well, Poultry Guys, but that's kind of more. Yeah. That's kind of more like I want to say zombies, but not entirely. Kind of more like Deadites, sort of. Except for it's not supernatural. It's like a chemical that turns people into them. Plus, it was like a fast food place built on a like Native American burial ground or something. So like there's that. Well, I guess there's that supernatural aspect of it.
It's comparable.
Yeah. So I guess it's a combination of supernatural, undead with poultry, and it's definitely
I think that's as close as an intro to this movie as we'll get, because it is.
Yeah, I guess all of this is.
It is some supernatural. There is some undead. There's voodoo, but I don't think there's any chickens. So tonight's movie, in case you're wondering where we're going with this, is Curse of the Doll People from 1961, also known as Munecos Infernales, Infernal Dolls.
Infernal Dolls. Well, yeah,
yes.
See, that's unrelated to cryptids or chickens or,
No, but it does have undead and it does have some supernatural as voodoo. So it's about 4 archaeologists who go to Haiti and they try to buy this kind of idol, and when the priest won't sell it, they steal it, and then they get their comeuppance, because that's what has to happen when you steal a voodoo idol. Yeah.
Yes. Voodoo is really interesting and cool. It's a very rich culture. We learned about it when in New Orleans, and it's pretty awesome. Voodoo shops have a lot of interesting things. They don't like you to take pictures of the things in there, which is totally understandable, but they've got all these like idols and carvings and statues.
It's because if you disrespect them, you end up like the people in the movie we're going to be watching tonight.
Yeah, yes. Well,
that's what happens.
They have altars in there where you can leave things, and we always leave stuff when we go in there. You can leave like money, or some people leave like cigarettes or booze or whatever, and it's pretty cool. But yes, voodoo is always used as like a sort of black magic type, like dark magic with like necromancy and things like that. You know, and real voodoo is not like that, of course, but I think it's kind of like anything with Hollywood, you know, it's going to be, they have to do it big and they have to do it dramatic because they want that to, you know, they want to sell that to people. Not that this is a big budget Hollywood movie.
No.
But,
no, it is not.
You know, you want, if you're going to do anything for entertainment, you need to do it big. And I know that, like, you know, you could say that might be like the cultural appropriation type situation. And I'm not equipped to, you know, deal with it on that level.
That is what this movie is, yes.
Yes, that is what it is. But I think we can still appreciate it for what it is as well.
We can. It definitely... there was definitely some movies that kind of followed this. And I'm not saying this was a direct influence on them, but it could have been.
Maybe.
And we'll talk about that kind of later after we kind of get into it.
Yes, because this is a genre that is very fun, I think. And I think it just inherently does not take itself too seriously. But is...
I don't think you can when you're talking about doll people.
Yeah, you can't. But
no.
But there's something fun about that, like the killer doll, you know, subgenre is fun.
It's definitely ongoing. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk more about that later.
But yeah, for now, let's go ahead and get Curse of the Doll People going.
Ooh, Infernal Dolls.
2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Come right in, Doctor.
Just what I imagined. You can never get ready on time.
What a fine way to say hello to me.
You know we're supposed to get there at 8:30.
Don't get your dander up, darling, while you prepare the drinks for us. I'll get my dress.
Well, please hurry. Those men must be impatient. They insisted that I bring you along, sweetheart, so that you could answer their questions on native cults and traditions.
I just take a second to get dressed.
Whiskey?
Uh-huh.
And soda?
I thought you'd forgotten.
Your health, sir. My congratulations for having had such a charming daughter.
What did you say?
Nothing, nothing. Doctor, you're simply radiant.
You're an expert flatterer, Doctor.
My congratulations once more, sir.
Are you batty?
It's nothing important. I was just conversing in private with your honored father.
Oh. Your marvelous on your feet, Doctor.
Look who my partner is.
It's only because you're leading me.
I'd like to lead you to a wedding ceremony. Let's get married, darling. That way the family'd save on doctor bills.
Darling, you're silly. We better wait. We only met 3 months ago.
That's long enough, don't you agree? Papa met his bride one day, and they married the next early.
No doubt he was very impatient.
None like it. What do you say, hon?
In November, we'll be married here. Any complaints?
Woman, you're stubborn, but anything you say.
We'll be late in getting to your friend's meeting room.
But who told you that? There's plenty of time, so why the big hurry?
Please give me my drink.
Certainly. Tell me, darling, how did you acquire so much knowledge about indigenous traditions, the occult sciences, and the rest?
Well, the credit is due my famous scientist father, and as a child I became interested in archaeology and medicine. And all the many traditions and all the many strange rites of the dark, dark past. I went with him almost all over the world. We went on trips to many countries studying ancient customs and the modern.
Well, here's to us. May all our scientists be little ones, okay? Good Lord, it's almost 8:30. I knew we shouldn't have wasted so much time. Now we're going to have to hurry. Everyone at the meeting is going to be wondering what happened to us.
The last trip we made to the Antilles was delightful and interesting as well.
Did you come across any interesting art objects for your collection?
That's precisely why we wanted this young lady to come tonight. Doctor, you're profoundly interested in all these occult sciences, and I understand you've studied indigenous traditions. We'd like your opinion of what we're about to tell you. John, Albert, Danny, and I made a visit to Haiti, where we witnessed at least a dozen voodoo rites in the jungle.
Am I correct in saying that the zombies are from there?
Yes, it all came from southern Africa, the origin of voodoo. Their god is a snake who's supposed to change dead people into zombies. Supposedly this god can make these zombies in all shapes and forms.
Ah, he makes the dead walk again. I can assure you that we didn't run into any of them. That's only an old superstition.
But to those natives, it's a religion.
Surely you know that the voodoo rites that we saw there were only to please the tourists. But do go on, won't you?
While returning, something happened in the jungle. There was an old man there. Obviously, he wanted to make some money just like anyone else. We gave him enough to ensure his cooperation. I persuaded the man to take us along to a secret meeting that was going on, and the 4 of us witnessed the affair.
But that's completely taboo for strangers.
Exactly.
What a risk you took.
Please tell us why.
There are certain groups in that religion that are guided by witch doctors, you know. The names are horrible. The Matanga, or the Zogamia, generally don't bleed a rooster or a pigeon, or sometimes a goat or even a dog, the way they do in customary voodoo rites. They sacrifice human beings. Tell me, did you see this?
Yes. We were in the voodoo temple. The drums made such a deafening racket, you couldn't hear anything. They had placed greased wood torches all along the walls, illuminating a handful of witch doctors who were spinning in all sorts of weird contortions. They pranced about and screamed, half crazed with the idea of making human blood flow. I'm describing a savage dance. They were staring straight ahead. In the flickering light of the torches, their teeth glittered like stainless steel. But the dance was secondary. I hardly watched. What attracted me was an idol, and it seemed that the dancers were worshiping it. The idol was perfect in every aspect. How I wanted to add it to the collection I own.
After a few moments standing there, we backed out slowly. Those men could have discovered us.
You went back later, I suppose.
Yes, the next night. I knew I couldn't possibly ask them to sell me the idol, and so we agreed to return.
And against my will, gentlemen.
The haunting silence and the blackness of the night were overpowering. Thank you. I went to the idol and removed it from its pedestal. Just as we were about to escape from the temple, This brilliant, mysterious light flooded the room. And the high priest of the voodoo cult was standing there before us.
And then what?
At that moment, we ran out quickly and heard him shouting at us angrily in the Creole.
And you understood it?
He cursed and swore at the four of us, offering death to the entire group because he considered us criminals.
Did I tell you that these priests who control voodoo cults, the Gants of Congress as they are called, use powers that modern science doesn't understand?
But how?
The Congress usually tend to combine their voodoo rites with an art called banga.
Banga?
Black magic, dear. There are those that defend the arts of voodoo, who affirm that the two aren't related. There are certain men called bocos, who use black magic. The Condor frequently is also a boko. He is two persons in one.
How do they employ these powers?
This form of magic is used by witch doctors for curing. They make use of certain roots and herbs that have value. But on other occasions, they use it destructively, invoking evil spirits with such names as Kita, Bakaloo, Sandor. This is when they want blood. You've all heard the fable about how they're able to change persons into zombies to make them slaves. They also use magic to conjure up evil curses and to destroy their enemies, too. Different things are used in this black magic, you know. At times, it's a wax image resembling the victim who will die. They also use a miniature coffin and a toad as well. They frequently eliminate the individual with poison. That's horrid.
So, forgive me, Doctor. But to my way of thinking, this whole business is pure fakery.
It's a big mistake for you to joke about an old tribal cult that has powers you can't imagine.
Are you trying to suggest that the terrible curse that the witch doctor hurled at us is going to reach us, here, in the city?
Well, I hope it doesn't occur. I can assure you of that.
It was wrong. No one has a right to steal from a temple. I'm sorry I sinned. It's too late now. I sinned terribly.
That's exactly it, John. So try to stop worrying.
Can you tell us of your guide, the one who took you to the temple?
They found him a day later. He'd been killed under mysterious circumstances. I've been observing you, and I've noticed a reproachful look on your face. I must admit that we were unscrupulous in bringing the idol here, but you must know that when a collector really wants to get his hands on something, he either buys it, or when it's impossible to do so, well, let me show you.
That's the sacred idol of the Combas. What have you done, Doctor?
I only brought it home as a souvenir.
This is frightening. No matter where you go or hide, Doctor, you'll be hunted out and the curse will come true. They'll only try to get the idol back after all of you are dead and buried.
Don't get upset, Doctor. There's no sense to it. And besides, I invited you to the house tonight because the voodoo priest set a time limit for the curse that ends tonight, in about 5 minutes. He told us that exactly 13 moons after that date, at midnight, one of us would be dead. Now, please look at your watch. It's exactly 5 minutes to 12. And here you have 4 men completely alive and breathing.
The lights went
I
out.
want everybody to calm down. Calm down. What are we going to do? The lightning probably hit a power line or something. The lights will come back.
The candles, sir.
Ah, thank you.
Papa, Papa! Did you hear that? The baby's awake again.
Stay here. I'll go up to her. I heard you calling for your papa. Did the lightning scare you?
Yes, Papa, I can't find my little dolly.
You had it right here on the bed, Patty, darling.
Yes, I had my arms around it, but it got down off the bed and it went over there towards the corner.
It did that all alone?
Yes.
Baby, don't say things like that. You're upset. I think you've been dreaming. You never saw a doll do that.
Yes, Papa, I saw him. I saw him.
Well, all right. Now, don't worry about it. Tomorrow, you and I'll find him. If we don't, then I'll buy you another one.
No, Daddy, I only want my little doll, and I don't want you to buy me another one.
Look, baby, the lights are out, and it's time you were fast asleep. Here we go. And I'll be here with you.
Hurry, call the hospital and have them send an ambulance.
Yes, Doctor.
Two, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
All right, so I know that we're kind of breaking in fairly quickly, but there were two tropes that I kind of like so far, and one is the you've got the know-it-all kind of person that nobody listens to. You know, you always have that, like the old man at the gas station, like, oh, if you go down the woods down there, nobody ever comes back. You know, that kind of thing. And the fact that it's a woman is kind of cool, especially during this time period. And that woman is Elvira Quintana. So during this time period, Mexico was still doing the kind of oh, it is very Elvira. That's pretty cool. They're still doing the kind of like women wrestler movies, so you had those kind of protagonists, and then you had like the science fiction kind of movies where you had the damsels in distress. But she is a doctor and knowledgeable, and she kind of takes a tone of authority with these people, and saying, "No, you guys done screwed up,"
Right?
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that's good. That is a kind of, you know, that's like you said, especially for the time period.
Oh yeah,
that's really progressive and I think really cool. What was the other thing that you were?
Oh, and then the other thing is the little kid that notices things and nobody pays attention to them.
Yeah,
you always have one of those. It's like, yeah, sure, Carolyn, get back to sleep. There's a clown in your bed.
Whatever you say, kid.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, people don't take kids seriously.
It's like, no. The doll jumped out and walked across the room. Okay. Clearly, you're dreaming, small child. So yeah, I like those two tropes. Those are cool.
I think so too. Also, I'm not gonna be like an annoying person about this, but yeah, like real voodoo is a lot different and is not some sort of evil, you know, curse it. You put curses on people. It's not like that at all in actuality. But, you know, these sort of these particular tropes and things can be entertaining though in a movie, you know, because I mean you're gonna see dolls doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and that's pretty silly. You know, you can't take it too seriously in this case. But yes, I just wanted to say that that you know, real voodoo is not.
It's nothing like they're going to be.
It's not nefarious. You don't believe in putting, you know, curses on people. If you do things like that, then you know those things can come back to you, is what is often believed. So,
right.
You know, it's, you know. I mean, they got some of the stuff right though about it originating in Africa and things like that. But yeah, it's really
more
fascinating.
Just the kind of sensationalized bits is what's in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to be. You know, if you're interested in voodoo, look up Marie Laveau. You know, look up New Orleans. There's a lot of really cool stuff. You know, real stuff about it. But also the whole zombie thing, the whole creating zombie thing, that is somewhat based on a real thing that can happen with certain concoction of poisons.
Brain-altering substances.
Yeah. Yes, you can sort of put people in the state where they seem to be dead for like 24 hours or so, and then but what happens is their heart just slows down a lot, and they're in like a sort of comatose state. But then they, you know, eventually are revived, but they're very disoriented and very susceptible to suggestion and things like that.
This movie is not going to feature one of those.
Yeah, but you know, but that type of thing usually in a sensationalist horror movie about, voodoo activity, usually there would be some sort of zombie. But you also have another common creature in voodoo movies is the voodoo doll, which is a real thing, but not used in the same way that it is in movies like this. But I still like the idea of it.
These voodoo dolls are definitely not the kind you're going to be buying in a shop.
No. They're just sort of these crazy constructs that are sort of like almost like a miniature golem in a way, But yeah, well, I guess we'll all see how that turns out.
These are pretty great. There's a scene where they like make them. It's really good. You're gonna like it.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Back to the movie.
2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You have done your job well, and you shall be rewarded. Your soul will rest for a long time. Soon, all of those who dared to profane our God will die. Not one member of their families will survive.
Gene, I'm so very sorry, but I wasn't able to do anything.
His back was broken.
There, sis, be strong.
You're thinking about Louis, aren't you?
And his poor wife will be all alone now with a daughter to raise.
Yes. It was a senseless tragedy.
Darling?
Hmm?
You must have seen the wound he had on his leg. It was down by his ankle.
Yes, he probably got a splinter in it when he fell on the stairs.
But don't you think we'd have found it near his body? That splinter was pretty long.
What's on your mind, dear? It was an accident and nothing more. Don't try to tell me voodoo curse because I'm not a child.
We scientists at times are bound to be a little too arrogant, and we tend to joke about supernatural things and refuse to give them their proper respect.
Young lady, where is the doctor? John is very badly hurt. Go in there.
Do you know what's wrong with him?
I haven't the slightest idea, Doctor.
There seems to be terror in his eyes.
That's right. But what could he have witnessed? Could he be drugged? Doctor, look. I don't care how much this whole thing costs as long as I can get this case cleared up.
Please wait outside.
Do you think it's a drug?
Could be, darling, but I don't recognize it. Have a look. I'll need a blood analysis to decide. Prepare the syringe.
Yes, Doctor.
Turn off the lights.
What happened, Doctor?
I just finished examining the body and I'm completely mystified. There's no sign of a lesion on the skin. And the analysis didn't show me anything I could use either. And to be frank, I'm totally confused. There's no illness that I can remember, nor any drug that can produce a reaction like this. Has John ever been sick that you can recall? He's never had blackouts either?
No, Doctor.
Now let me see, just where did this whole thing occur?
At the house, Doctor. When he was there eating supper. I went along to my room for a moment. All of a sudden, I heard this sound. I found John unconscious. I brought the boy here immediately. Doctor, you know I have many enemies. John was my assistant. This is the work of my enemies. There's no doubt that they've been trying to hurt me. Now it could be that they saw an opportunity to get at me through the boy. When I look at him, I realize what could happen to me. I'm scared, Doctor. I can assure you that I don't want to be killed. I don't want to come face to face with the devil.
Doctor, please hurry, Doctor.
Honey, his heart stopped at least 3 minutes ago. Normally he'd be dead, but observe this. I've called you together to give you my opinion about John's death. I need not tell you how sorry we are.
First it was my husband, and then my brother. It's horrible.
We all realize you were quite fond of your brother and would like to know what caused his death, wouldn't you?
More than anything in the world, Doctor.
Did you learn anything more?
Yes, I think he was murdered.
But that's impossible.
Darling, I think you should let me hear the facts first. Can you prove what you say?
I examined John's cadaver as thoroughly as I could, and I arrived at the conclusion that his whole malady was completely mental. In going over it, it seems that his willpower just burned out and failed him. I think that was the cause.
I've never seen a healthy person drop dead just because he suddenly got the desire to do so.
I think there's a sound reason that brought about his death. In this case, I'm sure that John had an excellent motive. I believe he was confronted by some horrible vision, and he wanted to escape from it, though by doing so it meant death.
If we had proof, maybe...
And in this case, there are 2 deaths, not just one alone.
Come again, Doctor?
Did you forget that Lewis was also murdered?
But that was an accident.
They planned it, in my opinion.
And you think the 2 deaths were connected?
Yes, I'm sure, since those 2 people were also connected. Darling, you examined Lewis's body. Didn't you notice that frightful expression that John also had on his face?
Yes. I confess I did.
Why should the so-called killer want to murder these 2? What's the motive?
A strong one. 2 of the 4 men that went to Haiti are already dead.
You mean this is voodoo?
Certainly. What else? Is it love or money or hate or jealousy or maybe revenge? Just think about it a minute. Any of these motives are satisfactory. All of you have known each other for years and you're the best of friends. It's a clear case of revenge.
But please, Doctor, are you trying to tell us that the old exorcist in the temple that laid down the malediction is going to make it good?
Then that must mean also that you think this strange chap came here from Haiti simply to carry out the curse.
But Haiti is miles and miles away. Why should he come all that distance?
Because voodoo revenge ignores distances. The 4 foolish men that went to the island not only violated the temple, they saw the sacred rites that are strictly forbidden. They're also robbers. They stole a little idol whose image is security to the cultists who pray to it. They committed a sin and they must pay.
But listen, there's no possible way to tell this to the police. Why, they'd call in a psychiatrist.
What can I do, just in case you're right, Doctor?
Well, I think there are several things you can do. Why don't you check into every move John made in the past few days?
Right.
How I wish I could put my finger on a couple of good leads. I think that this is simply the start of a long line of tragedies.
What do you mean by that?
I suspect that as soon as they murder the other 2 enemies that were cursed, they'll kill their families also.
You mean all our loved ones, including our children?
I fear that's their intention.
According to your thinking, Dr. Karen, who do you think is next on the list?
You, Albert. Or one of your children. Or you, Daniel. The killer will probably strike against either one of you 2.
You get right to sleep. It's way past your bedtime.
Good night.
Good night, Linda. And may the angels bless and watch over you.
Now, don't worry about it. I'll be perfectly all right.
Will they touch Linda?
Don't say things like that.
May I go now?
Did Linda go to sleep?
Yes. Is there anything else you'd like?
No, you may go to bed.
Excuse me. Today your sister sent a present over for Linda.
What is it?
It's a medium-sized doll. The child's crazy about it and took it to bed with her.
Call your sister and thank her tomorrow. That was a sweet thing to do.
Well, good night.
Good night to you, Fanny.
Does your head bother you, sweetheart?
Yes, my head is splitting.
I'll go get you a pill. Helen? Did you see this?
No, darling. It looks like a braid, and it came with the doll.
5 2 2 5 2 2 5 2 1 2 3.
Yeah, so creepy little guys.
Very creepy.
So yeah, a couple of things are just, I mean, the fact that she literally, it does wake up with the little doll, you know, just flushing him all night, and then it gets up and goes off and murders her dad.
I love the needles.
And then when the flute player comes up and recalls him, and he just kind of goes off, and they're like, I don't know, like they're going after freaking Disneyland. Like, oh, and the fact that the with the masks on, the actor with the mask on, the fact that they have that doll face and they don't blink. That is just fantastic. I love that.
It reminds me of kind of Slappy from Goosebumps a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But I also love them just very slowly crawling up on the chair and onto the chest.
Very slow and deliberate because, again, the actor clearly could not see
he was
where
blind.
they were going.
In that mask, yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. All right, so some of the influences on this movie, I tried to figure out some of that. Some people thought it was based off of Adam Merritt's 1932 novel Burn, Witch, Burn, in which a doctor treats a gangster for some kind of illness, and then the gangster dies, and then the police get involved, and a bunch of tiny dolls are murdering people, and it's tied back to this witch. Some other influences, Todd Browning's The Devil Doll, so that it's the synopsis makes no goddamn sense. I haven't seen this movie. I kind of want to. A French scientist worried about human overpopulation, he creates a formula to shrink humans in order for the planet's resources to last longer. That's the movie.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then Dead of Night, a 1945 British supernatural horror anthology, in which one of the short movies involved a insane ventriloquist malevolent dummy. So that was kind of cool.
Interesting.
All of which I want to go track down now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It also kind of reminds me. I don't know why, because it's not. This movie doesn't remind me of it necessarily, but other than like sort of that, more like the shrinking down one, kind of makes me think of like Food of the Gods. Although that wasn't about people shrinking, it was about things getting bigger. You know, originally
H.G. Wells.
Yeah. And I was just thinking that sounds like them shrinking down like that to preserve resources. Sounds like some sort of H.G. Wells shit. Is what I was gonna say. But
so I haven't seen those, but I've seen definitely some of the more modern takes of it. I mean, clearly there's Chucky, but there's Puppet Master.
Puppet Master, yeah.
Again, the possessed tiny dolls who are not murdering people. Then again, some more Charles Band. Dolls.
Yes, dolls.
Kind of again.
Yeah.
Definitely a little more direct correlation there.
I hadn't watched that in I think I'd never seen it when I was a kid. I never watched it when I was a kid because I remember seeing the case for it at a video store, being like, "Oh my god, this looks terrifying!" You know, when I was younger.
Right.
And then so I just watched it last year, and I really enjoyed it. It's very silly. I love when the little girl imagines the giant teddy bear that just rips her dad and stepmom to pieces.
Yeah,
it's pretty great. It's got some very unnerving stop motion animation for the dolls when they're like
the dolls,
slowly,
again, just like Puppet Master. Yeah, so again, you didn't really get that with this movie, but I find the actors with the mask on to be equally disturbing.
Oh, extremely, yes.
Yeah.
100%. It's very...
He also reminds me of Harry Potter with the short professor with the wand.
Oh, that's Warwick Davis's character, yes.
Yeah, when he's just going... I was like, oh, he's going to cast a spell, and the spell is death!
Yeah, I can definitely get that vibe. Yeah, with that freaking knitting needle, basically, is what it looks like. They're stabbing him to death with. Basically,
it's like a knitting needle with a handle on it. So kind of like an ice pick. I guess it's an ice pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The killer doll's signature weapon. If it's not a knife, it's probably going to be a pen of some sort. A pen of some sort. A pin sword, I guess.
Pin sword, sort of pin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like it.
But yeah, they're. I mean, this doll is ready to kill you, ready to stab you.
Multiple dolls. We've seen
But,
two.
well,
at
yeah,
this
they
point.
want to scare you first. Like the guy that they stabbed, when they climbed up on the desk, he like, I love how he held the needle up and then waited until the guy turned around so he could scare the shit out of him before he killed him.
That would do it. I mean, dude, if I was sitting here like
oh yeah, that'd be horrifying.
Like something just crawled up in the back of my chair.
Yeah.
With like cold, unstaring eyes.
Yeah.
With like a that would freak me the fuck out.
Stabbed you to death with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Horrifying.
Oh, definitely.
My heart would probably just explode seeing that,
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight anyway.
Yeah. And you haven't even seen how they're made yet. Again, you're gonna love it.
Oh my god!
It's good.
Gotta tuck in.
We're almost there.
2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Linda, we're going downstairs to get a glass of water, Mama.
Yes, you'll soon have a new companion. You despicable desecrators of my temple. She's as much to blame as you are, and her punishment will be death also. I needed someone to kill you. I chose your boyfriend to apply my justice. Patience, soon you'll awaken.
Good evening, Robert. Did you learn anything more about John?
Nothing.
Hello? Yes, Martha, he just came in. You sound concerned. You what? A small doll was delivered to her room, and it's the image of Daniel.
It's horrible, Doctor. No, I haven't the slightest idea. I was completely astounded. That's why I thought I'd better tell you about it. Yes, Doctor. Do you think I should...
And for your soulless body, this dirt that I hold.
Tell me, did Martha start to feel bad during the afternoon?
No, Doctor.
She's moving.
Hurry up.
And for your eyes that cannot see, this flame.
She's dead.
This heart will be yours. For your decrepit body, I use this blood. Now you, her spirit that wanders out there alone, quick, come occupy her body. Come to give life to this body.
Five, two, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Are you trying to say that that terrible little doll was responsible for the murder?
So how cool is that? So you can see the direct correlation between like this and like Puppet Master and all those other ones, like taking the soul of the slain victim and using it to animate a puppet, and then sending that same puppet out to kill their loved ones. It's great. I love that.
I know. I love that too. I love that idea of just this legion of killer doll automatons. It's pretty great.
But being forced to like go back and like murder, that's cool. I like it.
It's very sadistic, but that's how the curse.
Yeah.
That's how they. Yeah, it's like the cursing their whole bloodline. You know.
Oh, that's the other thing. Speaking of which, though, I also like that the doll still had kind of a morality. They would not attack the small girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Or one of them would, but the other one was like, no, dude. We might be cursed automatons, but we've got standards.
Yeah, well,
how dare you, sir?
You know, dolls and children, they have, you know, they have loyalty to each other sometimes.
Sometimes, but it kind of varied amongst the various dolls.
See, that's the thing. They're
cool.
not all killer dolls speak for everyone. You know.
No.
They all have their own personal code of conduct.
And I like how they showed when the female doll was being animated, that she was doing that like I guess T-Rex arm kind of thing. Yeah, and that's kind of what the her actual body was doing too, right before she like completely died.
Yeah,
the fact that they were mimicking each other was like, oh, maybe she's not dead. No, that was the last gasp of connection between like the physical body and the doll body. I thought that was pretty cool.
Very creepy, I think. A very creepy effect, to be sure.
I like it.
Her final death rattle.
Yeah, being mimicked by the doll, or she was mimicking the doll, not the other way around. Yeah. Anyway, that's all it was. We can go back to the movie.
2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Are you trying to say that that terrible little doll was responsible for the murder?
Yes, it seems so. You must have heard of individuals seeking revenge who, in order to do so, made a doll that resembled the victim. They'd puncture it with pins and needles, and the person attacked would begin to shout in agony.
I think it's all nothing but an idiotic superstition.
You mustn't try to attach any reason to this. It has nothing to do with science in our profession. You think this is irrational? Then try to explain to me the whereabouts of the doll that was sent to Martha. It wasn't around her room, you know.
No, I can't.
All there is the box it came in.
And the doll evaporated.
I don't know. But I'd say that the box proves she wasn't lying. She had no reason to do so. Just now I talked to you about dolls being stuck with needles. That act is part of the black magic of voodoo. And besides, in ancient Egypt, a certain form of doll was used for wreaking revenge.
In what way?
They did the murdering.
You mean the dolls? Perhaps you can tell us how they move about, Doctor.
You mean what gives them life?
Exactly.
The spirits do it. When the witch doctor murders a man, black magic is the method he uses, making the wandering soul come to occupy a puppet's body. The dolls are obligated to obey.
All?
A few resist. There are forces around that fight us, but the Lord has infinite wisdom and he permits them to exist. These forces come out into the open in many ways. They manifest their existence through witch doctors and those that walk arm in arm with evil. But at times there are forces that fight black magic. They always show themselves in certain tenacious individuals that refuse to follow orders. They become the instruments of the powers of goodness and virtue.
In any case, what do you suggest we do now, Doctor?
Maybe this is the first lucky break we've had up to now, the first ray of light in all this darkness.
Haven't you decided what we should do yet?
Now listen. It's absolutely necessary that you send your men to guard the families that have been threatened.
What's your reason?
Well, I suppose they'll soon get more of these horrible dolls. Trail the man that brings the dolls. Take care that he doesn't see you. I want to know exactly where he goes afterward. Then we'll see what can be done. There's probably a way out. And I don't think I'm mistaken.
I understand. So I'll go with my men to handle this thing. Goodbye. Boss, over there. This is what we were waiting for. I'll be back soon, don't worry. We're going to the doctor's house now, so step on it and forget the lights. Faster, Billy.
Stop here. The boss has been hurt.
You three were alone in the car?
The doll was with us.
You'll have to give your version as to what actually happened out there tonight. It's clear that he was stabbed to death. So I'll have to call the police.
Just a minute. What reason would I have for killing him? I'd have cut off my right arm for him. He knows that.
I can't attribute this death to a simple doll. I just can't. Would you please get the doll?
Right away. It's the image of Mr. Lewis, isn't that right?
And actually, you think this stupid doll has the ability to murder someone? Don't be ridiculous.
I just don't know. It could drive a man half crazy.
What do you think I should do now?
Doctor, I just need time. If I can't locate the criminal, then send this to the police.
He's still breathing.
Thank God. Will he live?
A good chance if there's no infection. He's been stabbed. I'm not sure yet, but I think his heart was punctured by something. He was in a continuous coma, and a second ago he came out of it. Take him into the operating room and stay there until I return. When Robert can talk again, he'll tell us exactly what happened. Until that time, you two are free to do as you like.
I'll go over to that house and make that guy confess.
No, for the time being, just watch him. He shouldn't be alerted until Robert can tell us the whole thing, just as it happened.
All right.
But don't talk about this with anyone. The story's so fantastic, the police won't believe us anyway.
He's still showing a lot of progress. He's not completely out of this deep coma, but I... Tell me, dear, where did you get it?
It came with a doll. I just found it.
It's a sorcerer's ladder, sweetheart. It's a dangerous thing. If a witch doctor can get it into your pocket, then he has great power over you. Yes, it's a ladder, all right, made of human hair.
Well, pick it up and examine it.
Don't you understand? It's witchcraft.
Yes? No, tell him to call me later. I'm busy right now.
Come here, dear.
There's blood on this needle.
One moment. Are we opening the doll?
Yes. What did you do that for?
Because it was necessary.
Karen? Karen!
He almost had me for a moment.
Yes? What happened?
Doctor, I think you'll be happy to know that the patient isn't in a coma any longer. Yes, he's awake now.
Robert just awakened.
Yes, I know. I destroyed the knots. The spell is over. We burned the evidence in order to be safe.
Try not to make any noise. Our patient will get better faster if you two maintain silence. Who's speaking? Yes, that's right. He's much better now. Yes, you should keep your men there. Frankly, darling, I admit that I'm completely confused.
That's natural. You've begun to find out that your magnificent scientific theories have crumbled.
I don't know what to think.
Go to the emergency room, darling, and try to get a little sleep. The nurse will call you when Robert wakes up. You need some rest.
Thank you. I'm crazy about you, Doctor.
The same goes for me, Doctor. Well, good night.
me get him into bed.
Is this the way you protect a man? As guards, you two are useless.
This is too serious for you to accuse us like that.
Let's hear the whole story.
Doctor, we heard a noise. When we came in, we found the boss on the floor and the nurse in the chair, just like she is. I think that's about all, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's no answer.
He won't believe us anyway.
I know that, but go on and tell him.
I thought that we'd seen two cats. It looked like, well, that they were fighting there in the window. So we took out our revolvers, but we didn't fire because you told us not to make any noise. We heard the music. The two bodies separated and went out the window together. I hurried over to the window, and nothing was there.
You really saw two things at the window?
Yes.
What were they?
Dolls.
Can you tell us more?
I'd say they were large. Let's see, this tall, more or less.
A child's glasses.
Or a doll's, maybe. Find Alfonso. Hurry and tell him to call me here.
Yes, Doctor.
But, Doctor, it's too much for you alone.
I don't think so.
I'd better call Dr. Baldwin.
Do as you please, Alfonso. But in just a moment, I'm going into that house and you won't be able to stop me.
I'll go along, too.
No, I'll do this alone. But meanwhile, stay parked here and keep an eye open.
But, Doctor, you know you
Alfonso,
might get hurt.
I think you'll recall that a couple of weeks ago your boss, Mr. Robert, told you to obey my orders like his. Or did you forget what he said?
Oh, all right.
I'm quite flattered by your visit.
Do you know me?
Of course I do, and I was waiting for you. Please sit down, Doctor. You and I have much to talk about.
That monster.
Sabu? He is very strange, but extremely useful. He's in charge of delivering my dolls to my clients. He's usually quite harmless. And you seem to be extremely tired. Yes, you are extremely tired. Isn't that right? Here in this house there is tranquility, an atmosphere of calm, of peace. My movements lend you a certain peace.
That monster is a zombie.
Exactly. A dead man whose soul has fled its creaking old body. But you should not fear him. He'll harm no one unless I order him to. And I have no interest in hypnotizing the dead tonight. Try to relax. It is beneficial at times to find refuge in a place where the only thing that surrounds you is peace. You need rest, Doctor. Now relax. Life is exhausting. It drains our energy from us. You are exhausted. So exhausted. My dolls, Doctor, are works of art. I'm sure you would like to see them. Come. In my specialty, this is one of my best dolls. He's good and very obedient. This other one hasn't behaved quite so well. This dog is disobedient. And the dolls that don't behave themselves are promptly punished. Why, I do think that you're upset, Doctor. Well then, out with the pins. You've had enough punishment for one occasion. I'll wager you'd like to have this doll. But before he becomes separated from me, he must be taught several lessons, Doctor. Now listen to this, Doctor. You and your friends need a most important lesson as well. Your young fiancé, who denies the existence of all he is unable to measure or place under a microscope, is assuredly a drooling idiot. But nevertheless, he, you, and all of your satellites try to impede my just revenge. They challenge my work. They fight me. I possess knowledge related to the most ancient sciences, and your science is nothing as compared to it, you see. It's quite true. Only I know who commands the dark forces of death and malice. And all the occult forces gather around at the sound of my voice. Do you still presume to pit your sciences against mine? How stupid. Now speak.
What a cruel and vile thing. You're a killer, and you'll go to jail for your crimes. I'll see to that.
Are you going to turn me in? Who'd believe you? No one. Don't forget what you're going to hear now, Doctor. I don't think you'd like to be murdered, nor would your friends. But you all will be unless the spies are called off. There's no way you can help that dog, Robert. He is mine now. But I order you and your fiancé to stop your foolish meddling. Do you understand me? I do not want more opposition, so obey and leave me alone, Doctor. I don't fear your spies. I'm offended by them. So go tell your doctor to get rid of them tonight. That'll be all. Now go home. That poor creature is asking for help, but you're unable to give it to him. Now go, and not a word of what you have seen or heard here.
I was getting worried, Doctor. I was just about to go in and look for you.
Take me to the hospital, then get some men together and come back and watch this place.
That stupid woman has departed. She foolishly thinks she is safe from our displeasure, but she is mistaken. She must die far from here. Voodoo must not foul our temple.
Go over there and stop him.
Doctor, you all right?
There were 2 voodoo dolls.
If all your men keep their promises the way Alfonso does, I must say it's a miracle that you're alive and breathing.
Alfonso is intelligent and faithful, too.
I won't blame him without hearing the whole story. We'll wait till he comes back, and then we'll hear his story. Then we'll know what to do.
What are you going to do now?
Eliminate that witch doctor. Also his zombie, and I'll do it by morning. There's been too much of a delay, and I don't want to wait any longer. These crimes have to be stopped.
What happened to you? We tried to arrest the man with the dolls. It just wasn't possible. I fired the gun till it was empty. He didn't fall. For the love of God, boss, tell me. What kind of a man is that?
It's a zombie, a dead man that walks. Bullets don't affect it.
We'd better be going.
What are you going to do now?
The zombie and the witch doctor must die. You don't feel that I'm right?
No. It's against all my concepts of justice and God's law. You and I are not killers, you know.
They murdered our best friends, isn't that true? Look, Doctor, you know just as well as I do. Our laws can't punish that kind of person. For that reason, I'll do it. And it doesn't put me in the category of a killer. It's simply a way to do justice.
But boss, the zombie's immune to our bullets. How can you kill him?
The only practical thing is fire. Its effect is purifying. The zombies, you know, are the devil's creatures, but they fear fire because that in itself represents the awful fate that eternity has in store for them.
Why did you take so long? I knew that you would come, gentlemen.
Hold on a minute.
Don't look at the man, Robert. Don't be a fool.
You're trying to avoid my gaze. How stupid. Don't you know you can't fight these eyes? You'd like to kill me. Isn't that true, Robert? I will give you the opportunity. We shall see if you can. Well, try it. Try, Robert. Start to fire. Don't touch it. Obey me. You are all under hypnosis. My power dominates. Yes, they are yours now, and Sabood's. And now you must pay for all your stupid meddling. For that reason, you'll be put to death by my dolls and by Sabood. Do your duty. They must die here. Kill the intruders. Throw down the torches. I said throw down the torches. I can see that you're trying to take something out of your pocket, Doctor. You are powerless against my will, understand? Are you still not convinced that you are under my spell? I shall permit you to remove it to demonstrate that there is no power on Earth that is stronger than mine. Take it out, Doctor. Take it out.
You're helpless, aren't you?
If I'm going to die, then you'll all die with me.
Five, two, 5, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3.
What an ending.
It was your classic Universal horror monster ending. You know, everything's on fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Great Purifier.
Yeah.
I actually really like that explanation for why zombies are averse to fire. That it reminds them of that torment that awaits them after they die. Like, that's pretty hardcore stuff. I like that. I always just thought it was a, sort of natural, like, primal fear that pretty much every creature has naturally.
I mean, that's how it's
fire
explained in the
God,
the early Frankenstein movies. That's what it was. It was the
fire bad.
Fire bad. Windmill good.
But I like the idea of it's just a stark reminder of the torments of hell. I like that.
Well, that was the only two kind of Christian things was that and the cross at the very end. I was like, well, I kind of see what you're doing there, but also it's not like it had ever been introduced in any other way. So that was kind of like,
it was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if she'd been like, Van Helsing, it kind of makes sense. He was going through like the holy books and making references to stuff, and you kind of get where he's going from when he pulls out the cross. When she does it at the end, it's like, well, okay, sure, fine.
Our secret weapon. She should have been like our secret weapon or something like that, and But even then, there was nothing. There was no precedent.
No,
precedent
it was
for
sort of
it.
like,
at
how
all.
are we getting in this movie? How are we getting in this movie? We've got like 10 minutes left. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Eh.
I like that the one good doll stabbed the guy in the throat with the pin. He's just like,
I didn't expect this all. Betrayal. I like the doll autopsy scene. That was cool.
Me too, yeah.
I think the one thing I wish they'd done is like when they popped open the chest, I wish they had like organs and stuff, like with the modern Chucky movies, where you can see like, even though it was a puppet, now it's infused like humanness.
living doll. Yeah, like a
Yeah,
like
that
it
would've been cool.
actually like it's only like part construct. It's like it's actually
Right.
starting to become flesh and blood.
Right, so
Yeah,
I,
I like that.
But I did like the fact that it kind of disintegrated like a hammer horror vampire.
Yeah.
Just nothing but ash behind. That was kind of cool.
That was the reminder that this is also like a result of supernatural, like it's magic, and I liked I liked that. That was great. I like the weird texture of it too. It looked like it was made out of clay or something, like
Yeah, and then it was just ash.
yeah.
That was cool.
I thought it was fun, and it was. It seemed like kind of a short movie, but I feel like
compared to some of those, compared to Zuma, yeah, this was far shorter. Far shorter.
Zuma was
that
like
was a
very,
slog. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I liked it though. I think it was fun. I love the snake hair. I just can't get over the snake hair. But no, I like this one. I thought it was good. I don't know, but the reveal of the zombie coming out of when the zombie came out of the
sarcophagus.
At first I was like, oh shit, it's a mummy.
No.
I thought it was a mummy, and I got really excited because I love mummies.
It was very what was it? Abbott and Costello beat the mummy, so it
Yeah.
creaks open, then he goes, and sneaks back inside. It was like, they're doing like a laugh track now.
Yeah, that's what I know. Yeah, absolutely.
That kind of.
But I was really hoping for a mummy because you don't really see mummies get paired with like voodoo necessarily.
No, because it's
that's
not
more
the
of
same
like
thing at all. No, that's mixing your genres of like resurrected monsters.
Yeah, but I also thought like, well, there are different kinds of mummies too. There are like bog mummies and things like that too. So I was like, well, maybe but. It's fine. It was still good. I like that. I like a voodoo zombie. I think that I appreciate them just as much as I appreciate like the biological.
Oh, but speaking of this, I like the kind of connection to Bela Lugosi's White Zombie. The hypnosis. Look into my eyes. I am now controlling you.
Which, if you haven't seen that, if you're watching this and you haven't seen that episode, you should go back and watch it. It's a while back, but it's a great.
That's the episode that self-destructed.
What's that?
It self-destructed. It did not record.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So you can't.
No, we fully intended on going back and doing that. And then we were like, I don't know. We already talked about it, so we never did.
Yeah.
It's a long episode. It's a public domain movie. It's definitely worth seeing. Again, Bela Lugosi's eyes. Like, I am now in control of you. That's good stuff.
It was cool. It reminded me of those kids in like middle school who would flip their eyelids back,
Oh yeah, that would do it.
Which I always thought was gross. I always hated that.
That is gross.
I feel like that seems like something that Jet would do, but he thankfully has never learned how to do that. But it seems like something that he would do to annoy his sister.
Like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. Just flip your eyebrows.
Yeah.
No.
But I don't know. I like this one. I thought it was cool.
Well, I did like that he died basically due to his own hubris. He kept giving him chances to defeat him, and eventually one of those chances panned out because the doll stabbed him in the neck.
See, that's I wish that happened more in real life. That bad people would get their comeuppance, but sometimes you just have to, I don't know, seek your own justice. Or wait, maybe that's not a good thing to encourage right now? I don't know.
No.
Use your best judgment for that. Use your best judgment. And
that's what movies are for. You get that sense of catharsis without having to actually go out and reanimate a corpse via dolls and voodoo and
don't
snakes.
really do that. That's not.
Yeah,
good.
don't do that.
That's a bad thing to do.
Stick to the movies. It's healthier.
But that's what people should do, though. They should, if there's something that you want a story that you have in your mind that you want to tell, you should make a movie about it. Or if there's an issue that you want to bring light to, you should make a movie about it because people love stories.
This is true.
People like, that's just a very human thing, telling stories. It's just something we like to do. And if you make a movie about something, then it's easier to reach people, I think, about it, probably.
Yeah.
Than like writing not writing a book. I think writing a book does the same thing that a movie does, but um, that's something that gets people's attention more so than just, I don't know, doing what I do sometimes and just complaining about things on Facebook. I think,
All things are still more valid than, again,
yes,
binding a spirit to a doll and then setting out to stab people in the throat.
Yes.
These are all better options.
I want to know if he made them their own pen weapon, or or what. He just has a bunch of them laying around his lair that he equips them with.
I mean, it seems like the sort of thing you probably pick up at Home Depot.
Yeah, just giant needles.
Yeah, sure.
A needle would be an effective. I mean, it'd be, it's a good weapon to use, I think, especially for like a small creature.
Well, it made sense when they were being stabbed in the heart, because if you do disrupt the heart or get it to bleed, then you will die.
Yeah.
Just stabbing something in the neck, I mean, I guess if you hit a nerve or you stab them in the spine, maybe, but otherwise it didn't really make any sense.
Hit them in like the carotid artery or something, but
then the blood would be like.
Yeah, that's true. I think it would also just really hurt a lot.
Wait, stabbed in an artery? Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Like, I think that's a thing. It just would really be very painful to be stabbed anyway, in general. But like in the neck would just be horrific. I mean, that's just one of those.
But there was no toxicology. So I'm getting it. There was no like poison being used like other VOODOO. It wasn't like the fish powder stuff or any kind of stuff. It was the stabbing apparently, which was killing people, and again, seeing a tiny, diminutive figure crawl up behind you silently and then stab you. I mean, that would do it.
Yeah. That's a sneak attack. That's, what is it, 2d6? Well, I guess it depends on your level, right?
It depends on your level. It's 2d6 at first level, yes.
And is it with advantage?
If they don't see you, or if you have an ally within 5 feet.
That would hurt. Even a needle can be a deadly weapon.
And at some point during this movie, they did in fact have allies within 5 feet because there was multiples of them.
Exactly.
The other thing, I also liked Thelma and Scooby-Doo. He had to go find his glasses. Like, my glasses! I can't see without my glasses!
Going full Velma, basically.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. It was like, you're technically like an undead puppet, but you need your glasses. I get you, dude. Because otherwise, when he had the glasses on, he looked like a diminutive Buddy Holly, which I thought that was kind of neat. He had the thick rimmed glasses and the suit. I was like, he's gonna pull out a guitar. It's gonna be great.
Right.
And if he'd done that while the building was burning, like,
I think so too.
Oh, that'd be great.
Well, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a great movie. I think it had, I think it was great. It was greatly entertaining anyway.
I think it's definitely got some creep factor. I mean,
there's some very uncanny, creepy, just emotionless faces that you want,
cold blank stare. I think this is one of those things where it could definitely be done using more modern special effects. Yeah. But I think it would kind of take away from just what they had, that practical, just blank paper mache wax face where you couldn't you couldn't see out and they couldn't, you can't see. That's what my point is.
Yeah.
I think it definitely fit the time period.
I think so. Yeah, I think so too. I think all in all, it was well done. We got killer dolls and we got a zombie. That's
yep. Can't ask for too much more than that.
It's an embarrassment of riches.
Yep. All right, what are we leaving this thing off on?
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it's been a little while since we've had one of these. How does this movie apply? Should you apply this movie to real life? No, you shouldn't. But you
again, no. Do not practice the dark arts in order to seek vengeance. That's generally a good thing.
Find more constructive ways to do it, because there's a lot to be angry about, of course. But I think if you try to channel your energy in a more positive way and do something that helps other people and do something that's entertaining to other people, bring joy to people's lives. I think that's what you should do. You don't have to create, an automaton to take out its vengeance or your vengeance on other people, to sort of be that id for you, where you use it you use someone else to do your dirty work. If you really have,
I will say, if you do need that in your life, if you do need a figure wreaking havoc and seeking vengeance, the new Toxic Avenger movie is coming out in August, and it'll be fucking amazing.
Well, we obviously don't have any way of showing any of those movies, but we'll talk about them. We will talk about them. So, yes, that's another thing also, making your own movie. Lloyd Kaufman is a huge, he's the Troma president, and his whole mantra is make your own damn movie. And I think, like I said before, if you want to bring attention to a cause or anything that is important to you, make a movie about it. And it doesn't have to be expensive. Be like John Waters or somebody.
You can literally make a movie on your cell phone these days, and that's like the cheapest ass bare minimum, as long as it's not like a old Nokia flip that you've somehow kept going through like the dark arts.
There's a way to do that. There's a way to do that in an entertaining and charming way. You can do that, and I think everybody should. It doesn't matter how it looks, if it has a shitty budget or whatever. You should still do it, because you should still create art and still talk about things that are important, and not let anybody tell you that you can't talk about it, unless you're going to say some shit like, oh, the earth is flat or whatever bullshit that people want to pretend is a valid way to, you know what I mean? That's just
I mean, that falls under the general rule of don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick, and don't be what is the word? What am I looking for? Don't be a source of disinformation or misinformation. Make sure
unless it's for satire.
Yes, unless it's for satire, or if it's just supposed to be funny. If it's not supposed to be a real serious thing, if you're just trying to bring a smile to someone's face, then it doesn't matter if it's factual or not. It's just supposed to be.
Or if you're going to convince a bunch of people to give you money.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh wait, no, I'm not supposed to do that. Hang on.
No, you shouldn't.
Do not convince people.
Bullshit.
Yeah, do not convince people to give you a bunch of money for
no, if you need money because you need help with something, then you should do that. But you shouldn't just do it for your own selfish needs. Like, so you want to
use your personal charisma to bilk people out of money. This is what I've been told.
Yes, and you also shouldn't, sell cars on the White House lawn. You cheap pieces of shit. I don't know. That's not really applicable to most people, but
it's not. No, but
it reminds me of the part in and I don't even believe in the. This is the last thing I'm going to say. This is the last thing I'm going to say. But it reminds me, and I'm not even. Here's the thing, Pat. Here's the thing.
Used car salesman chapter of the Bible. I'm with you.
Here's the thing, folks. I'm not religious, and I'm also not. I'm not a very patriotic person, but I will say this: seeing someone sell their wares at the White House, it made me think of the part in the Bible where Jesus gets pissed because all those money lenders and all those
he flips the table.
Fuck yeah, Jesus goes bananas. He knocks shit over. He doesn't. I don't think he actually hurts anybody, but he gets a whip and he lashes it at people. And he's like, "Get this shit out of here!"
I mean, I've seen plenty of movies where Jesus knew kung fu, so he might have.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think if I were Jesus, I would have gone in there and I would start spitting on everybody and scratching people up, and yelling at them and pinching them real hard.
So kind of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia sort of Jesus.
Yeah.
Like if Charlie was a Jesus.
Yeah,
okay.
or
I'm with
throwing
you.
salt on people like Gail the
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I got it. I'm picturing that right up here.
Yeah. So in those cases, but that's what it made me think of, and I'm not even the type of person that necessarily thinks that a president is a thing that I think we need to kind of change how we look at that position. But anyway, I don't know. I just think just don't be a dick. Just don't be an asshole.
We're just going to leave this on. Sometimes you have to spit on people.
Sometimes you have to spit on people.
We can do this. We're good.
To get your point across. Yeah. We'll add in the sound effect. Maybe we'll add in the sound effect there. But we're not going to do like a Hawk Tua type thing because
we are not.
Although I do think it's funny that she pulled the rug out from under all those people. I think that's pretty funny. But anyway, I've been Condor.
And I am Crow. And this is a thing we did.
One of those things that we did because we like to do stuff.
Yep. So Until next time, folks.
Come on, Teletubby, teleport us to Mars.